In January, on 23rd to be precise, Raila Odinga held 2 meetings. In the first meeting, Raila Odinga met with the senators from Central Kenya region. And all the senators attended that meeting, apart from Senator Wamatangi, who was out with apology. The Kirinyaga Senator Charles Kibira was present. The Laikipia Senator John Kinyua was present in that meeting. The Nyandarua Senator Mwangi Githiomi was present at that meeting. The Nyeri Senator Ephraim Mahina was present at that meeting and served as the team leader. And the Muranga Senator Irungu Kangatia was also present, including the nominated Senator Isaac Mwaura. And after that meeting, Raila Odinga headed straight to his office at Capitol Hill in Nairobi. And at Capitol Hill, Raila Odinga met with the 2 governors. The Meru governor, Kireitu Murungi, and the Nyandarua governor, Francis Kimemia. And these 2 governors were accompanied to that meeting with Raila Odinga, were accompanied to that meeting by 2 businessmen who are very influential as far as Mount Kenya politics is concerned. They were accompanied by Peter Munga, who is the chairman, the founding chairman of Equity Bank, and also the chairman of Mount Kenya Foundation. Also present was Titus Kiria Ibui, a tycoon from the Meru region. He's basically the director of Bell Industries. And after those 2 meetings, I remember opining on this platform, and I'm going to share the video because the details about those 2 meetings are in that video. I remember opining on that particular video that those meetings were convened by President Uhuru Kenyatta himself. That's what I said at that time. And today, 2 events are also going to happen in this country. The Mount Kenya Foundation and Central Region Economic Forum organized a meeting. I'm just trying to get the invitation letter. Organized a meeting which will happen. Okay, I have the invitation letter. Let me just read for you the invitation letter by Mount Kenya Foundation and Central Region Economic Bloc. It's saying dinner invitation. We cordially invite you to a dinner jointly hosted by Mount Kenya Foundation and the Central Region Economic Bloc at the Safari Park Hotel on Monday, February 24th, starting at 6:30 p.m. Your input in the consultation towards a regional position on the BBI will be greatly appreciated. Rise and straw very plainly, Mr. Ndirangu Gashunia, the CEO, Central Kenya Economic Bloc, and Reverend Peter Karanja, Mount Kenya Foundation. That's one meeting which is also supposed to happen today. And if you are keen, you'll realize the convening of this meeting and the time those guys met on 23rd is exactly 1 month later. So after those 2 meetings, it was clear that Uhuru Kenyatta gave these guys 1 month to convene a meeting. And remember, after that meeting between senators from Central Kenya and Raila Odinga, have you ever seen any of those senators attending any meeting convened by the Deputy President William Samoei Ruto in Central Kenya? None of them has ever attended. Now, the other meeting which is going to happen today, which is actually supposed to counter the Mount Kenya Foundation meeting, has been organized by Mount Kenya Parliamentary Group. And it reads, we cordially invite you to a dinner hosted by Mount Kenya Parliamentary Group at Pan-African Hotel on Monday 24th 2020, starting at 6:30 p.m. Your input in the consultations towards a regional position on the BBI will be highly appreciated. Rice and strawberry plenty. Mount Kenya Parliamentary Group Secretariat. Nobody specifically. So basically what is happening is that the first meeting by Mount Kenya Foundation is the one which is being convened by the people who matter in central Kenya, the people who determine the politics. But these people are now leaning towards Raila Amolo Odinga and President Uhuru Kenyatta. So they organized this meeting to issue central Kenya position or Mount Kenya position as far as the Building Bridges Initiative meetings are concerned. Remember, the first Building Bridges Initiative in Mount Kenya region is expected to happen in Meru on 29th. And then the other meeting is now expected again to happen in Embu. And because the allies of the deputy president don't want anything to do with the BBI, so they've organized another parallel meeting. And that tells us one thing, which is the main core of this video. Central Kenya or the larger Mount Kenya voting bloc. Can Raila Odinga successfully manage to gain acceptance in Mount Kenya region? Because that's basically the competition between these two groups. Because one group is allied to Uhuru Kenyatta. The other group is allied to William Samoei Ruto. Uhuru Kenyatta, from all indications, is not keen on supporting his deputy. And let's face it, as things stand today, the presidency, the race for the presidency is currently between two people. Raila Odinga and William Samoei Ruto. And Central Kenya is going to play a key role in this country based on their number. So I want us to look at the Central Kenya factor in Raila Odinga's presidential bid in 2022. Will he manage to get their votes, or will their votes in Central Kenya impact on Raila Odinga's presidential bid in 2022? But before we do that, if you're bumping on this video for the first time, I want to ask you just one favor. Just take a second or two and hit the subscribe button so that next time you produce a video like this one, you get notified. Now, back to the main issue, and I want to go straight to the points. What factors are going to determine whether Central Kenya is going to vote for Raila Amolo Odinga? In my view, I have 4 factors. Factor number 1 is Mount Kenya political interest. That's the first thing. We all know that in Central Kenya and Mount Kenya in general, they produced the Mwai Kibaki and President Uhuru Kenyatta. And in 2022, even if they had a credible candidate, Kenyans were not going to allow another person from Central Kenya to continue with the presidency. But they have the highest number of voters in this country. And because they have the highest number of voters, they must determine who becomes the president of the Republic of Kenya. But who can serve their political interest? Let's just take a briefly, there are some figures which were shared by the Standard the other day. According to that figure, Nairobi has the potential in 2022 of 3 million votes. Normally, Nairobi it's almost 50-50 in favor of Kikuyu versus the rest of Kenya. In Kiambu, they'll have 1.6 million. Then Nakuru will have 1.3. Kakamega, 1.1. Meru, 1 million. Machakos. So basically, if you take the top 5, Kikuyu or Mount Kenya region are top there. That's the reality. But who can take care of their political interest? Is it Raila Odinga? Is it William Samoei Ruto? Let's look at the two scenarios. Assuming William Ruto is to choose a running mate from Central Kenya. Because William Ruto, in fact, between Raila Odinga and William Ruto, the guy who must get the highest percentage of votes from Central Kenya is William Ruto. Because Uhuru Kenyatta got those votes and is banking on those votes. But can he appoint another central person from Mount Kenya region as the running mate? Will the rest of the country agree to that? So that's the first thing. Number 2 is Raila Odinga. Can Raila Odinga take care of the political interest of Central Kenya? Can he appoint someone from Central Kenya as his running mate? Those are the factors which are going to play. The other factor which is going to play, in my view, which is very important, is that the people of Central Kenya, normally they look ahead of the rest of Kenya. So probably they've figured out, if they were to vote for William Ruto today, then it means they'll have to wait for the next 10 years to start planning succession politics, how they can regain power. But if they vote for Raila Odinga, they know Raila Odinga can serve for one term because of his age. And then it will be easier for Raila Odinga to even be controlled because at his age. So the system, it will be very difficult for Raila Odinga at his age to dismantle the entire system. So probably because of that, Raila Odinga might get a percentage of votes because there are certain elements in Central Kenya who will feel that Raila Odinga can take the political interest of the community. So I'm assuming that if elections were to be held today, Raila Odinga will get higher percentage of votes from Central Kenya than he got in 2008, than he got in 2007. In 2007, than he got in 2013, and than he got in 2017. Those are realities. So that's number 1. Number 2 is the economic interest of the Central Kenya. Who can solve their economic problems? Because if they won't have the political power, then they need the economic power to dominate. When it comes to government tenders between Raila and these other candidates, who is likely to be able to help them still continue taking charge of the economy of this country? Those are some of the factors which are going to play. Because it's alleged that the reason why some of these people have problems with William Ruto is because of tender wars. When Ruto became the deputy president, he started venturing into those tenders. And the question they're asking, what if he becomes the president? Will they still manage to control some of those tenders? And because of that, there are many of them who will be willing to support Raila Odinga. And that's why the Mount Kenya Foundation is keen on stopping the deputy president, William Ruto. Number 3 is what I call the Mount Kenya, the stakes, political stakes in Mount Kenya region in 2022. It's simple. In 2002, the people of Mount Kenya had Mwai Kibaki as a presidential candidate. So the stakes were too high for them. In 2007, they still had Mwai Kibaki, who was facing a serious challenge from Raila Odinga. Remember, and I listened very keenly to Herman Manyora today, and he said something, that the person who put Kenya into this problem we are today is none other than Mwai Kibaki. Because if Mwai Kibaki did not betray Raila Odinga, probably Raila Odinga would have served as the vice president or as the deputy vice president then, after the death of Wamalwa Kijana. And probably after that, Raila Odinga would have been the successor to Mwai Kibaki. Or even if that did not happen, even if Kibaki allowed Raila Odinga to take the presidency in 2007, because it's clear in 2007, Raila Odinga won that presidency. That's not in doubt. But Mwai Kibaki refused to allow him to take over. So those problems emanated from there. So which means in 2007, the Kikuyus were protecting the presidency of Mwai Kibaki. And the fact that they were defeated and Raila Odinga still won, they had that they had to still protect it. And when Mwai Kibaki and the cartels realized that there was a chance of Uhuru Kenyatta becoming the president, they were able again to rally the Kikuyus in 2013 using the ICC. They were able to rally the Kikuyus around President Uhuru Kenyatta using by selling the fear of Raila Odinga. In 2017, they also had a presidential candidate. So the stakes were still very high. But in 2022, we won't have a Kikuyu presidential candidate. What that means, therefore, that there are certain people who are going to vote because they had to stop Raila Odinga or they had to protect the presidency. Remember, these are the only people in this country who take oath to protect the leadership. So in 2013, 2007, 2002, we were able to see people being wheelbarrowed from hospitals to polling stations because the stakes were too high. Will we be able to see those high stakes? Will we be able to see people being wheelbarrowed to go and vote for Raila Odinga or to go and vote for the Deputy President William Ruto? And because the stakes won't be so high, even the turnout in central Kenya will not be that high. I don't know who will benefit from that. Because if majority of central Kenya will not be voting because the stakes are not high, or if now those who, the fact is that people in central Kenya who, if given a chance, they would vote for Raila Odinga. But if Raila Odinga is pitted against a fellow Kikuyu, they can't vote for Raila Odinga. Because in this country, the politics is tribal. So that those kind of people, how many are they in central Kenya? So those people will also determine whether Raila Odinga will get votes in central Kenya. And lastly, there is the fear factor. Fear factor. And this fear factor is basically the Kikuyus in diaspora. That's why Raila Odinga must treat very carefully when the kind of politics which was played in Narok are playing out. Can he protect the Kikuyus in the diaspora? Those in Rift Valley, if he becomes the president. So because these are the things they'll be asking themselves. What about those in Narok and Laikipia? What about those outside there? And can William Ruto protect them? And they fear that if they don't vote for William Ruto in Rift Valley, for example, then they'll have problems. Can Raila Odinga protect them from those kind of problems? So those are some of the factors, those are some of the 4 factors which will determine whether the people of central Kenya are going to vote for Raila Odinga or not. I don't know what you think, but I want to ask you a simple question. In the last general election, Raila Odinga performed in central Kenya dismally. Do you think he's likely to improve even if by a little? And do you think the charm offensive, which is currently being witnessed in central Kenya, can actually persuade the people of central Kenya to vote for Raila Odinga? Because as things stand today, the man who is still controlling the politics of central Kenya is William Samoei Ruto. But he has only one weakness. He's using the wrong people. I want to listen to your comments down here. And if you're bumping on this video for the first time, I want to just ask you again a small favor. Just hit the subscribe button so that next time you produce a video like this one, you get notified. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without this support, this channel would not be where it is today. This past week, I was unable to produce videos on 2 occasions. I think it was on Friday, and even yesterday I didn't produce a video. And the people were really asking me, Leo, why are you not producing videos? We are waiting for the videos. It's because of people like you that I spare my time to create for you guys these videos. So the only request I want to make here, which I keep on making, is that you help me create interactions. How do we do that? Just give the video thumbs up if you like. If you don't like the video, thumbs down. So that from there, I'm able to understand the content which you guys like. Then I can produce more of such content. And the best one is just to drop your comments. Thank you guys, and please may you have a good day.